350 million years ago. Today, it's hard to imagine an empty sky, but many millions of years ago, there was no flight of any kind. All life was limited to water or land. This included very early insects, which were the first animals to develop wings around 350 million years ago. How did wings evolve? The most accepted theory is that wings developed from structures that originally supported insects' ancestors as they moved in the water. Over time, these structures became larger and stronger. They turned into wings that first allowed insects to jump and then glide. Eventually, insects were able to flap their wings and fly. 229 million years ago. By 229 million years ago, flight had also developed in pterosaurs, large flying reptiles. These animals were not dinosaurs, but were closely related to them. They were good flyers because they had strong flight muscles, skin-covered wings, and strong but hollow bones. They could glide, flap their wings, and even soar, using the wind to help them stay in the air. The largest flying animal ever was a pterosaur named Quetzalcoatlus, which had a head as big as a human and a body as tall as a giraffe. Quetzalcoatlus had a weight of 200 kilograms and a wingspan of 11 meters. 150 million years ago. Today's birds are actually living dinosaurs. The earliest known dinosaur that is generally considered to be the first bird is Archaeopteryx. It had feathered wings like modern birds, but also shared features with reptiles, such as teeth, clawed fingers, and a bony tail. It could fly, but not very well. Later birds became more skilled flyers due to better flight adaptations. 55 million years ago. The fourth and last appearance of flight happened 55 million years ago, when the ancestors of bats developed the capability of powered flight. It's likely that these mammals lived in trees and first became gliders. Over time, their bodies formed wings, making bats the only mammals that have evolved to fly.
How did flight happen? Physical adaptations have taken place in species such as birds and bats, allowing them to become skilled flyers. Both are capable of true powered flight. One example of these adaptations is wing structure. Birds gradually lost the claws their ancestors had. Bats still have all their long clawed fingers, which support the membranes of their wings.
Reaching for the sky. The dream of human flight. One day, while travelling, Milton Wright saw a small toy helicopter that was powered by rubber bands. He bought this toy for his two young sons, Orville and Wilbur. Mr. Wright surely had no idea this simple act would lead to the creation of the world's first powered aeroplane. The toy gave the brothers a strong interest in flight. They soon began trying to build similar models themselves. When they were older, the Wright brothers decided they wanted to make a small contribution to the field of flight. At that time, most attention on flight focused on hot air balloons and gliders. However, the brothers were more interested in a heavier flying machine powered by an engine and controlled by a pilot. They first read all the books they could on the early mechanics of flight. Then they used kites to better understand the forces that controlled objects in the air. Over the next 3 years, the Wright brothers worked on designs and shapes for different types of gliders. During this time, they worked with engineers Otto Lilienthal and Octave Chanute, both authors of books on flight. These men were important influences on the brothers' work. The brothers had built a wind tunnel to test different shapes of wings and tails for their gliders. Then they began to think about how to get a flying machine weighing 272 kilograms into the air and keep it there. They designed a 12-horsepower engine that generated enough force to allow the flyer to take off from the ground in December 1903. It ascended about 3 meters into the air and continued to fly 36 meters in about 12 seconds. The first heavier-than-air flight became a reality. The second, third, and fourth flights followed on the same day. But the Wright brothers observed that the flyer was not stable enough and was hard to control. They spent 2 more years perfecting their aeroplane. Finally, on the 5th of October 1905, Flyer 3 flew about 39 kilometers in 39 minutes. The plane landed only because it ran out of fuel. The dream of human flight had finally come true.